very good morning to you, dear listener, and welcome to Perspectives on this 12th day of August in the year of the Lord 2020, concerning youth and the international community and to celebrate the potential of youth as partners in today's global society. The day gives an opportunity to celebrate the mainstream young people's voices, actions, and their initiatives, as well as a meaningful, universal, and equitable engagement. It was established in December 1999 after it was endorsed by the recommendation of the World Conference of Nigeria. Estimates show that youth constitutes over 60% of the country's population. And one of the popular phrases that is often used regarding youth is that they are leaders of tomorrow. Are they youth preparing for leadership today and for tomorrow? What is their participation in all the spheres of our society, and what are the challenges the youth experience? These are the issues we shall try to dive into on this edition of the program. I have been joined here in the studio by two discussants who will drive the conversation, the youths in their making, and who are also making various contributions in their spheres of life. First is a writer, a movie maker, and a commentator on issues concerning youth, Conan Moses Anyanke. Welcome to Agate Radio, Mr. Anyanke.
Thank you, Nat, for having me.
We also have the Welcome to Perspectives, Ms. Gundu.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
I am Nathaniel Nongu, welcoming you to this Monday edition of Perspectives, and happy International Youth Day to every youth out there, including elders who were once youth as well. If you are joining this program for the first time, kindly be informed that Perspectives is audience participatory. It is broadcast from now to 11 a.m. And at 10 o'clock, we allow you to call in and also share thoughts with us on the subject matter we are discussing. You can do so by reaching us on the number 0814-335-9292, 0814-335-9292. Send us an SMS or a chat on WhatsApp to the line 0912-699-9404, 0912-699-9404. Log onto our website on www.agateradiotv.com to listen to us live. You may also download the Agate Radio and TV app from Google Play Store. It is a one-stop app that serves you to listen to the radio, read the newspaper, as well as watch the television. That platform serves you for all of this. You can also follow our social media pages on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, formerly Twitter. All these platforms were available there to serve you. Also, if you have your Radio Garden app on any device at all, you can listen to Agate Radio there. Stay tuned. We'll take a quick break, and once we are back, our engagement here in the studio will begin. Don't go away. Thank you very much for being there. Mr. Nyamke, I'd like to begin with you. Today is International Youth Day. What do you make of the day?
Well, it's a very exciting day. Youths all over around the world are very excited to be recognized globally with the celebration of a special day that marks their achievements, or rather puts forward their contributions in the society. Personally, I am excited to also not just be part of this trajectory of contributing to the society for some time now as a youth, down to this moment that I am on this program, to also lending a voice concerning Youth International Youth Day. I must say, it's something commendable by those who actually initiated this day for celebration.
All right, Ms. Gundu, the international community, Nigeria and Benue is joining today to celebrate International Youth Day. You are active in a body that is predominantly of youth, that is the National Association of Nigerian Students, NAS. How does this day come to you and what does it entail?
Thank you so much. First of all, I would love to appreciate God Almighty and then to appreciate the initiators of this wonderful day for recognizing the contribution of the youth in the nation building, because I know, of course, that I do believe that if there is no youth, there is no tomorrow. So I believe that recognizing our efforts in the nation building and then acknowledging our challenges will also help to encourage us building more for the better development of the society. So I really appreciate them, and I think I would love to wish every youth out there to sit up despite the challenges, to work harder, to be recognized. Thank you so much.
Okay, which is to say, you acknowledge there are challenges. Anyway, as we go along, we'll try to dive into the challenges. But the theme for the International Day this year is From Cliques to Progress: Youth Digital Pathways for Sustainable Development. Mr. Anyake, what do you make out of this theme in of this celebration this year? From Cliques to Progress: Youth Digital Pathways for Sustainable Development.
Okay, I would love to say that there is this common saying that everything has been digitalized, and globally things are coming online. People are beginning to live more in the digital, digitalized manner. I I see a lot of progress, and I see also a lot of advantages for the youth and their growth using the digital system of the world today. Personally, I'm a writer, like you mentioned, and I am also a filmmaker. We have made progress moving from analog to digital, and now we are actually, carving a niche for ourselves. So many people who before now were not recognized are beginning to, have their voice felt because of the advent of the digital growth in the system. Today, I would love to narrow my discussion to Benue, where I thrive, my craft. I have a lot of people that before now were not really doing so great. Come of age from where they were. They have actually grown beyond what they used to do because of this digital growth. Talking about setting pathways for themselves, they have also done really, really wonderful. They have actually been pace setters in some of their areas. I'd love to mention some names back home here of people who have actually done well. Somebody like Karen Martins. Karen Martins is a lady here in Benue State, somebody who I have actually followed her growth. She has used the social media very positively, and it has given her leverage and built her career over the years. And I think it's because of this uh, utilizing her talent and utilizing the resources that are there for her, like the social media, that has actually made her become a household name in the entertainment industry in Benue and even beyond. This lady has actually done well for herself, and she is a youth, and she's somebody I would want to implore the youths, particularly in Benue State, to also emulate and see or follow her footsteps in trying to also build themselves in their various sectors that they find themselves.
All right, Ms. Gundu, also talk to us about what this theme, especially it talks about from cliques to progress, pathways for sustainable development in the digital world? Are there particular advantages youth can make in this digital world in the context of this theme to promote development in our society?
All right, thank you so much. I think the first thing is digitalizing means transforming the world generally, not just the youth. I do believe that if something is digitalized, it makes it more effective, more smooth running. And I do believe that for the for the smooth running of the sustainable development goals, I think if it is digitalized, for instance, maybe we the student, maybe if as a student union leader or as a student, if we don't have any gadgets such as a mobile phone, you find it difficult, very, very difficult to run your activities as a student on campus. Or sometimes maybe perhaps if you are not on WhatsApp just a day, because if a group is being created for a particular department or a particular course or a particular assignment, it makes it very more easier to transfer information from that space. It makes the lecturers to communicate with students more smoothly and diligently. It makes even students to read news across the world. For instance, don't be surprised that as a student, it actually takes you time. I'm not trying to say this because of anything, but I'm saying it because of experience. Because I've been with students on campus for over the years, and you will discover that it's very hard for a student to pick a newspaper and start reading to know what is going on across the globe. The only thing students do these days is to pick their mobile phones or laptop or notepad to go online, sometimes get news through Facebook or know what is happening through Twitter and the rest. So I believe that this particular digital digitalizing digital pathways have actually helped a lot in the student development, and it has also built the student vocabulary in so many ways, like the first speaker earlier said. So I think it's not a bad thing for this year, but I believe that if students are equipped with such things and empowered, it will help them the more. Thank you so much.
Okay, Mr. Anyake, in terms of youth development, how prepared are youth with regards to uh, initiating programs for their own self-development to add value to the society in diverse ways?
Okay, first of all, uh, value. One has to really want to build himself or herself to be able to add value to the society which he or she lives in. A lot of people don't see when you try to, encourage them to do that, they don't see the need to do that. As such, you find them really bringing to the table little or no value at all in trying to bring development to the society. However, a youth must be prepared by way of wanting to grow beyond where he or she is, first of all. Uh, I would like to talk a little about myself from where I started. As a writer, there were times I was using a pen and jota to write. And then, uh, fast forward to now, I have apps on my phone that I have downloaded and actually tried to learn how to use them to write. As a screenwriter, I have different apps that I use in writing my movies, be it Final Draft, Cell Text, Script Dub, and the rest. But you must, first of all, want to know how to use these things to be able to be impactful in your craft. And you find out that today, a lot of people have these phones in their hands, and rather than use them as tools of self development, they rather use them to self destruct. You find them doing things with these gadgets that are more born to take them down the destruction path than take them to a place where they would grow and be very important in their very careers and also be impactful to other people. So they need to be prepared. But being prepared is wanting to learn. That is first of all. And then there is this um, how do I call, a mentality of not wanting to take counsel or being mentored by people who have already gone before us in a particular field or career. For instance, Nathaniel Shanongo is a presenter and has been here for a while. Somebody who wants to, be in this very sector should be able to study how you behave, how you present, listen to your programs, come maybe do some internship around here, know how the things work. I can see you, you know, moving hands on that mixer or stuff. I don't know how to use it, but you had to go through a process to be able to sit there with the headphones on your head and anchor this program. We are here. You are not doing it, man. You're doing it. This is also a digital development. This is something that you had gone through to be able to do this. Now, a lot of youth out there are not doing that. Incidentally, they are, let me say, they are wasting their time a lot. I was in the seminar one time and somebody talked about doom scroll. I begged to understand what doom scroll mean, and he said you spend time on your phone and you're scrolling down, and then when you add the word doom, it's taking you to your doom. So the doom scroll is spending so much time on your phone doing nothing, just scrolling down, liking stuff, commenting, checking your likes on your on your post, and then there are so many other places on that phone you could have gone to that would have added little value to your life or your career. So you see, that is where we have found ourselves. As an acting coach, I have actually met some actors that I have told them that, you see, there are so many things you can go. There is YouTube. Somebody once said recently that YouTube is the best teacher he has ever encountered. And I didn't argue because he has learned so much from YouTube. Just going to watch videos on YouTube to, hone his craft and become better in what he does. So, the digital space is there for us. The digital space is very accessible. Once you have data, you can go online, do a lot of research, come up with stuff that people will marvel and people will say, oh, this person is really doing great. So I think preparedness rather, is something that one has to want to be prepared. Otherwise, there would be no preparation at all.
All right, Ms. Gondo, youth development, place of mentorship, and their own self-development initiatives. How do we balance the three and get the youth to add value in the society?
Well, thank you so much. I think the first thing is for, as a youth, you need to know what you want, and then you need to define yourself for a particular task, what you want and how you want it to look like. Like the first speaker earlier said, by the time you want to be anything and then you don't actually have a focus, maybe you just want to be everywhere, you need to look for instance, maybe I want to be a filmmaker. I can actually learn from him. Or maybe I want to be, because you cannot compare a filmmaker and a comrade, am I right?
Of course.
Because combining the two of them, I think it's quite it's totally different. It's totally a different thing. And by the time as a youth you want to be a filmmaker, you want to be everywhere. I don't think you have a particular focus. But when you want to do something and then you have a particular person you look up to as a Mr. Nathaniel, I think it will be quite. But I want to be a comrade and I'm looking up to you. I don't think, if I'm not in that field, I don't think it will not make any sense. So I think as a youth, the first thing you should know is you should know what you want, and then you should define yourself. and have a focus that this is what you want. I think that will solve every other problem. But by the time you don't know what you want, you're just everywhere, then I think I'm sorry. Because there are some people that want to be reverend fathers at the same time they want to be they want to be different things at the same time. I don't think that will be possible. You will not. There is a saying that jack of all trade is whatever, but I think there is an adage that sounds towards that direction. I don't think if you are in that direction it will work a lot, but you should define yourself and know what you want and have a focus. I think that solves every other problem.
All right. Define your priority, define your focus as a youth. Dear listener, if you're just tuning in, you are listening to Perspectives on I Get Radio 95.5 Star FM. Makode, today is International Youth Day on the United Nations calendar, and as Nigeria and Benue joins the international community to mark the day, we are discussing it here on Perspectives. The discussants I have here in the studio, I have a writer and a movie maker and a commentator on youth issues, Conan Moses and Yankee, as well as the National Public Relations Officer of the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, Mimido Gundu. She's a comrade Mimido Gundu. They like to get the title of comrade. And you can participate on the program later at 10 o'clock by calling in on 0814 335 9292. 0814 335 9292. In the meantime, the line for SMS and chat on WhatsApp is already activated, which you can utilize by also reaching us. The line is 0912 699 9404. 0912 699 9404. Please remember to include your name and where you are sending your message from, so we will take it as being read. Please keep it very brief as well. You may log on to our website on www.igetradiotv.com to listen to this program and every other I Get Radio content. You can always find us there. Also, if you download the I Get Radio and TV app from Google Play Store, you can listen to us. You read the newspaper as well as watch the television. You may also listen to us via Radio Garden. Once you have it, once you have the app of Radio Garden on any gadget at all, you can listen to us from every part of the world. Our social media pages on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, formerly Twitter. This program is streaming live there on all these platforms. You may follow them, drop your comments, and share the link with as many of your friends as you can as well. Mr. Nyanke, let's look at the factors or challenges that are facing youths and the factors that necessitate these challenges on a general level in Nigeria. What are those peculiar challenges you will point out that face the youth?
Okay, there are enormous, but I'll mention a few that would readily come to my mind. Hunger is one of them. Joblessness is one of them. Parental negligence is another. Like my co-speaker mentioned, lack of focus, and I think that is an offshoot of parental negligence, because if you actually have a good parenting, then there should be focus too, because part of your duties as a parent is to, give focus or give direction, so to say, to your child or what on what the future holds for him or her. And if you have failed in your duties, the child is bound to also not have focus, because the foundation was poorly laid. So that's it. And then you see today, if you let me use the social media where a lot of stuff happen a lot. If you go on social media, you see a lot of people do terrible things, all in the name of trying to make a living. You know, somebody is insulting another person, dragging someone on some financial, tips from somebody else to, downgrade this kind of person. And I want to say that this is trickling down to because the person is hungry. Hunger can actually make people do terrible things. Even biblically, you can see how Esau sold his birthright to Jacob because of hunger. You understand? So, hunger is one factor that can actually push a youth to go down the negative road. And, they say the idle mind is the devil's workshop. That was why I spoke about joblessness too. Once you wake up from your home and you don't have where to go to look for your daily bread, where maybe you don't have something, an itinerary that you want to achieve for the day. You just wake up and you are just alive. There's bound for you to also, just because you are not doing anything, do something that is not anything. I don't know whether it makes sense, because you wake up, you don't have anything to do, but you want to do something, so you end up doing something that is not actually worth your time or worth anybody's time. It's just something that, okay, it just came by impulse. I don't have anything to do, so I'll do it. You go on social media today, there's a lot of toxic stuff there, because people wake up with free data on their phone and they are hungry and they're just going to look for adventure on social media, so they just come poof, they do whatever they want to do, and then things happen. So if we begin to look at these things, if for instance, we can't talk about these things without trying to bring in the government. You understand? Because there is hunger in the land. How do we go about, limiting or alleviating this poverty, bringing down the rate at which people are hungry? How do we go about creating jobs? How do we go about trying to sensitize our parents in way of trying to give attention to their children or their words? Most times, you see today, I think I grew up from an era where the schools we went to are not as good as the schools that are in our country today. Parents do so well, try so hard to put these kids in very beautiful schools, more than the ones we went to. But do they even have time? Do they even have time to actually, scrutinize what these children are doing in those schools? Even though there are better schools today, I don't think character-wise there are better characters today than they were as of yesterday. And this is because a lot of parents have actually looked the other way. I had a father that would come back home and ask me to bring my school bag, and we go through all my exercise book. This was routine. It was done every day. I had a father who would ask me, why you didn't write in this exercise book today? We tried to know whether that subject was taught, or it's me that just didn't write anything, or they didn't teach that subject for that day. This was how serious my father was with my education. And then he looked at details. If my mother gave me something and I as much as squeezed my face, he will tell me there and then to apologize to my mother. But these things are not today. Parents hardly have time with their children. Your children go to school from morning till when it's closing time. They go to extra lessons. And when they are coming back, when it's time for holiday, you see them enrolling them for summer lessons. They hardly have time for these children. And then a lot of stuff go on behind your back that you don't know. You understand? So these things The factors are many that are kind of hindering the growth, or rather the positive growth, because growth is growth. We have positive and negative growth. So I can't actually say there is no growth. Some of this growth are just negative. The theme for this year's International Youth Day says
From quick to progress.
and then
Youth digital pathways to sustainable development.
not just development, sustainable development. When you plant something, you water that thing. You make sure you supervise its growth from time to time. So are the youth of today going through the watering process by their parents or guardians? That's number one. We have the advantages of this digital world. We have our kids today operating phones. We have them watching television in the house. They operate. They use the remote control themselves. Now on that TV, there are certain there is a lock, right? There is this there are codes to lock some certain channels. I bet you a good percentage of parents do not lock those channels that are actually marked as adult kind of channels, and these children have access to this kind of stuff. And you should know what this thing do to them, because you come back home and you find out that they are alone in the parlor and they are watching these things and nobody is there to even guide them. As a filmmaker, we have a censor board that talks about censoring our content. We have the ones that are rated PG, which is parental guidance. We have some that are rated 18, and we have some that are rated G. G is general, so everybody can watch without anything. But you find out that in the house, a child is watching a content that is rated PG without a parent there to guide. I don't know whether I'm making sense, but this is it. These are so many of the factors that we are. And then another factor is sentiment. Truth has actually eluded us today. A lot of people, because you're not supporting me, I'm not supporting this person, and you do something that is worth applauding, I don't applaud. You do something that is worth, rebuking, I don't, because you are my person. We hardly tell the truth. So you see somebody come up on social media space and actually justify rot. Somebody come on social media and actually digital space. So this is a tool that can actually bring about something positive for us and can actually take us down too. Before I draw the line on this, there's something currently happening in Sankara. A lot of deaths. And you find out that most of the people burning houses, killing each other, are mostly young people, the youth.
Anyway, that's subject to be proven. We'll go to that. We'll talk more about areas youth can apply their energy, even with regards to building sustainable peace in our society as we go along. But anyway, for now, let me come to you, Miss Gundu, Comrade Gundu, rather. Walk us through what you perceive as the major challenges the Nigerian youth is facing.
I think my co-speaker spoke about a lot, and I think as a student union leader, I will channel my challenge down to the student.
Okay, that's your
constituency where I'm coming from.
Okay.
Because he spoke more of the youth out there, so let me channel down to the student. I think as a student, one among the major challenge we are facing as a youth is lack of educational opportunities, because you understand with me that we have a lot of intelligent students, we have a lot of bright students, but they lack these educational opportunities. Do not be surprised that you you will find a first class graduate from engineering who cannot even fix a socket. Because as a student in Joseph Sarun Ataka University, I have mates who are from engineering, whom I know that I'm sorry to mention.
Don't worry. Go ahead.
Sorry
You
to
will-
mention.
no,
I'm just trying to be practical.
no
here.
problem. We are interested.
But just take a look at a student who is very intelligent but does not have access to those facilities to learn. Okay, just assume that as a journalist or a radio presenter, you don't have access to all this mixer and this mic and the rest, but you're a first class student. So I think it's a major challenge, and channel this down to medicine and surgery. As a student who is studying medicine and surgery and who doesn't have access to some of this equipment that are used in the lab or in the hospitals. So I think it's a major challenge that is affecting the youth today. Some youth are determined, they want to learn, but there are those tools are not available. So I think it's a major challenge. After I love to speak on much, but I think the first speaker I've spoken on parental guidance, I've spoken on unemployment. That I think everybody knows it. As a youth, you go to school, you graduate, and then you don't have any work, you are jobless, you can't even bring back your school fees. So I think he have already said that an idle mind is a devil workshop. And I think if majority of these youth are empowered, most of this problem we see today, we will not see them. Because some youth go into all these illegal activities because of lack of something doing, or maybe they are idle, or maybe they just want to do something. Like somebody like me, I don't like sitting idle. So just assume that I don't have any positive thing or illegal hustle that I'm currently doing. Okay, just assume what I will go into. So I put myself in other people's shoes. So by the time you see a lot of youth these days doing Yahoo, do not be surprised that if you can be able to empower those people, 75% of them will stay out of that Yahoo. So I think if the government stand up, I understand that this day is not only meant to celebrate the contribution of the youth, but to also figure out the challenges that the youth are facing in the society. And I think if the government is able to identify some of this problem, especially with the students, we are suffering a lot. That of hunger is everywhere. I understand that the students are hungry. Okay, nowadays, as a student, a cup of gari that used to be 20 naira, you cannot even afford a cup of gari that is, maybe a cup of gari now, they will be telling you about 200 naira.
Oh, yeah.
And the more the things are increasing, I understand that the government have increased the minimum wage of staff, whom, by the special grace of God, are our parents. And we are benefiting from this. But the more the money, the more the high cost of things in the market, which is affecting we, the student on campus. And school fees, electricity, all these things are affecting us back, the youth, because you are the one facing it. The youth, let me say the student, 75% of the student depend on their parent, depend on their guidance, because on a normal standard in Nigeria, 18 years student or 18-year youth is not supposed to have money in their pocket. If you are legally hustling, you are not supposed to be rich. That is just the truth. That if it is not generational worth, as a 18-year student or 18 years, a youth of 18 year age of 18 is not supposed to be rich the way some of us, the way some of the youth are.
Of course.
If you are legally hustling, because you understand with me that if you can see that a legal hustle, they start around that early water. I'm not to that extent, but at least there is an age that somebody should start getting legal money. It's nothing, but I understand that some people, God has destined them to be like that, but maybe majority, I'm talking of the majority now. So as a youth, if you are employed, if those facilities are there, we have intelligent people over there, but these challenges have hindered them from doing some of these things a lot. We don't have some of this equipment, nothing to learn. We are just there. So I think if some of these things, I think another one is poverty. Another issue is poverty. Understand that nobody is going to make you rich, or nobody is going to give you the money. But the issue of poverty, sometimes you want to do something, but because of you don't have the money to do it, oh my God, you think otherwise. There are some people that if they don't have money, they go crazy. They act as if something is wrong with them. They act bitter. Some people are not doing something because they want to do it or they enjoy to do it, but they are doing that because they want to earn a living. So I think if some of these challenges are looked into, a lot of problems will be solved. A lot of solutions will come in place. So I think that is my own
All right. So,
contribution.
how do we overcome these challenges? This is where we should go to now. Conan, I'd like to begin with you.
Okay, how do we overcome these challenges?
But yes, in terms of empowerment, both on the part of youth and also government, because both of you are stated the position.
Okay, youths on their own, I would like, or should I say rehabilitation? Because
I think reorientation is more suitable.
okay, yeah,
Yes.
rehabilitation is a powerful word. Mental reorientation, yeah. We we have a lot in us, embedded in us as young people, and whatever we have, whatever impact we have to make in this world today is now, not until we get old and feeble. So we need a positive mindset to be able to do that. I have a couple of friends on my list on social media whom, by virtue of their followership and their consistency, they have become what we can call influencers. An influencer should have the mindset of positively influencing the community. An influencer should not be a distributor of negativity so as to, you know, how do I corrupt the system rather. We have issues that we shouldn't even make public, that are out there in the public, and then you find out that people who are young people and who are influencers, so to speak, are contributing to, making these things escalate. So a positive mindset first for the young man will make you know that whatever I am bound to do now, I should think of the outcome of my actions. For every action, they say there is a reaction. So, what are my actions? What is it that I am doing that is not supposed to be done? So, you start from there as a young person. You begin to correct yourself from there. I'll give an example of myself. I have been a writer for some time now, and I know that at least I have a little followership on my social media handles. I know people follow me because of some of the content I write. Now, because of that, I am very conscious of what I put on my profile or on my wall, because I may be influencing somebody to do something wrong. That also goes in the kind of films I produce, I direct. I have had cause as a director. I don't look at the monetary aspect of my career alone. I look at my face, but I have seen when I go through the script and I see that this work is actually going to create some bad influence on the audience. Then I don't want to put my name on that job, so I walk away. Now, money should not actually be the the sole motivator of us doing our bit in the society. Because if you look at money alone, then we will also sell bad stuff out there for people to buy. So I don't think that is should be the only motivator. Coming to the kind of things we do around other people, how we behave around them, we should be conscious of that too. Now there is this word they call cruise. They say cruise. We are catching cruise. You go on Facebook, you go on this social media platform, and you find people writing stuff, and they call it cruise, and you don't know what that cruise is doing to your personality, is doing to, or the impression your cruise is giving other people about your person. So cruise should also, be done with caution. When we want to do cruise, we should know the kind of cruise we are actually catching, so that we don't send a negative message. And so a total reorientation of the mindset of young people needs to be in place, you know. So that is one aspect they need to look into. Another thing, okay, you said of the government now. On the government, you know, I have seen, I have seen governments try, and I have seen governments kept quiet, but it good governance always have an impact on the society. So no matter how difficult it is, I think leadership, our leaders should try so much to be impactful, no matter how little it is. One thing they must know is a leader is always criticized. So they shouldn't look at criticism as attacks and insults or things that will make them not do their bit because they feel the led are insulting them, or no, 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 no. There is nothing good that comes easy. So they should continue to do their part. If they know that this sector needs to be staffed up, they should staff up the place. They shouldn't wait and say, okay, we'll do it later. Some of these places are failing because they are understaffed. And then there are young people, a lot of them out there, who needs these jobs. Give them jobs. Let them have something doing, like my speaker said. Let them come to let them be responsible. So take responsibility. And then another thing I think young people should do is they should stop running away from marriages.
Okay, we're interested in that. So, talk to us more on that very briefly before we.
The marriages.
I don't know why you brought it up, but talk to us
Okay,
about that.
look. I want to. I don't know about others, but I think there is this stability that marriage brings to a young person.
Okay.
Yes, I think it does. You begin to tone down your excesses. You begin to reduce some of the things you used to do. I used to be a night crawler. Let me say that, because I never used to come home early. But I try to be home. Maybe because sometimes I miss my kids, and sometimes I just want to go home. And you stay out. These are things that make one responsible. You are trying to, to behave in a way that somebody who has responsibilities should behave. So marriage can actually, you know, I don't know, but that's how I feel. So a lot of people are scared. They are scared. They're looking at, oh, the hassles, the hardships. They are looking at, how do I take care of my family? How do this? They are looking at a whole lot of factors that they have not even tried, and they are already giving up. So I feel people who are young, if they marry, a lot of them, will become responsible.
All right. I will allow you, Comrade Gundu, to speak briefly on measures that can be taken to overcome the challenges youth are facing on their own part as youth, and what the government can do briefly before we open the line to engage with the listener.
Thank you so much. I think with the challenges we have mentioned
Yes.
in her speech, I think one of the solutions is providing education and skill development. You don't just provide education to the youth or to a child, but you also help that child to grow, to build up a skill. Most of the parents these days, I remember when I used to be growing up, they will tell you that learning of tailoring. Some parents actually don't want their children going into learning a handwork, because I don't know, but every parent, I don't know, but majority of the parent says that my child should graduate and look for a white collar job. Every parent, almost every parent wants that. No parent want their child to be a seamstress, or to be a tailor, or to be a mechanic. But I think we are thinking wrong in that direction. So I think the first skill development to that child, I think it also help to navigate some of these through some of these challenges. And apart from that, some people do something not because they want to do it. An ideal man should think before they talk, not talk before they think.
Okay, an ideal man and woman.
Yes.
Because
When I'm saying of man, I mean general.
oh, okay.
So pardon my manners. But an ideal person should, or an ideal individual should think before they talk, not talk before they think. But when you are under alcohol influence, I think you talk before you think. So some of these things, people go out to speak out things that are not even relevant. Like my co-speaker here have said that some people go on social media in the name of influencers to throw up negative things, to give fake information to people. This social media will talk about, if used rightly, it will bring a lot of positive impact to the society. But by the time you are using it negatively, it still destroys the society. So I think if we are able to look into some of these things, it will help us a lot. The issue of drug abuse is so important. And then, in addition to what he said, the issue of jealousy. I think sometimes some of these challenges are not coming from the government. They are not coming from anywhere. They are coming from our parents. Sometimes, for instance, as a script writer or as a comrade, maybe the way you are advancing yourself, the way you are moving, your parents or the people around you or your co-workers might be jealous of you, and they go fighting you, doing all sorts of things to make you, to see you fall. So I think some of these things, if we look into them, it will also navigate through the challenges that we face. And apart from that, the issue of career guidance. I think some of us actually have the career, but we don't want to learn. With the youth, we don't want to learn, because maybe, especially as a teenager, as somebody between 18, they think they know all. Everybody think I know more than the other person. They don't want to learn. With the youth these days, you hardly find someone who want to learn, because by the time you start training somebody, or somebody come to you that want to learn under you, the next thing they want to be more than you, or they want to be like you, which it is not supposed to be so. So I think as a youth, yourself, you need to help yourself. You need to sit down and develop yourself. That is, in fact, that should be the number one challenge, that the number one solution you should bring to yourself. Sit down, guide yourself, that this is what I want to be. So I think it will help a lot. And the issue of mental health, some people do some of these things because they are mentally disturbed. So I think if the government or the society can be able to should I say, check the health to do it. Some of them are mentally disturbed. And I think providing such programs that Agile Radio FM is providing today, I think is so important too, because there is even the Bible said that my people perish because of lack of knowledge. Some people don't really have the knowledge, so I think if this knowledge is being provided to them, they will also learn, and there will be better people in the society. Thank you so much.
All right, we have callers already waiting on the line, so let's go straight to them as we engage. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Hello. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Thank you very much.
Kindly
Yes,
move away
yeah.
from your radio. Once you call in, please turn down the volume of your radio. Move away from it. Let's know your name, please, and where you're
Okay,
calling
this
us.
is Engineer Augustine Eke.
Okay, Augustine Eke, good to have you join us.
Thank you very much. I shall be speaking about two things.
Yes, where are you reaching us from, Augustine? Okay.
I'm calling you from Akodi, North Bank.
Okay. But I must see appeal that your radio set is on and very close to you.
Can you hear it?
All right, speak to us now, Augustine.
Now, I'm going to speak about two things. I'm going to speak about the hardship in the land in England.
Engineering in the context of youth, not just in engineering in
Yes,
general.
yes.
Okay, fine.
Now, the poverty in the land, I've been calling to your programs before, and I've been saying one thing. From the days of IDB, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, the Naira has been floating. Each government that comes has been floating the Naira until this very day. And each person devalues the Naira when it comes. Now, it is that devaluation of the Naira that has caused hardship in the land. But pertaining this particular administration, what they did was first of all to remove fuel subsidy. Now, when they removed that fuel subsidy, the next thing they did was to what? Devalue the currency. Now, that fuel subsidy was just a diversion of the real thing that is causing the problem, and that is the devaluation of the Naira.
Okay, could you tie it to our subject matter of the International Youth Day
Now,
we are discussing? Because the preamble may be
exactly.
too long.
Let me
Yes.
let me tell us how it affects us now.
Fine.
Now, somebody that is receiving a fixed amount of income per month, that devaluation of currency automatically reduces what you can use that amount of money you are receiving every month. It reduces what you can use that money to. Now, you can no longer use it to pay school fees. You can no longer use it to fix your vehicle. You can no longer use it to fuel your car anymore, or to even buy things from the market for you to consume at home. So it reduces your purchasing power automatically. That is how it affects the parent, and when it affects the parent that way, it also affects. The comrade in the studio said that even students in engineering, she gave instances that they cannot even fix the socket. You see the unfortunate thing? Even the functionaries of Korean, as in Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, the last interview that the Korean president had on federal radio, he repeated exactly the same thing. Well, let me tell us something. During the days of Theresa May, when Theresa May was Prime Minister of Britain, now Britain was supposed to carry out a ballistic test. They were supposed to carry out a pre-commissioning ballistic verification test. They were supposed to fire a rocket. I know these days of social media, we are all watching it on the internet. I was actually watching it on Facebook that particular day.
Okay, Augustine, you are taking
No,
so much time. Just a
let
summary.
me land.
Just a
Let me
summary and
land.
land, please. Yes.
When they were taking it to go and launch, I looked at the rocket and I said, this rocket is going to fail. And it crashed. And let me tell you something. I've never designed a rocket before. That particular rocket, I was not the one that designed it. I did not school outside the country. I schooled at the University of Agriculture, Makodi. So how did I know that rocket will fail? I need to first of all build the rocket, know whether it will work or whether it will not work. Or even that particular one, I should have been the one to build it to know whether it will work or it will not work.
Okay.
But I just looked at it and said it will fail.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
what I'm trying to tell us is that we have the best engineering facility even in the world.
All right.
Uniagri.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Augustine. We appreciate you for the summary of that. Please, if you connect with us, we'd like to appeal that just give a summary of your thoughts, 2 minutes maximum, because we do not have the luxury of time to engage for too long, up to 4 or 5 minutes. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Good morning, my brother.
Thank you for calling in.
Yes, I am Ondachi Gabriel from Yakpa Madoka.
Good to have you join us on the Chigabo.
Now, regards to the two guests in the house, they have spoken a lot and spoken my mind. Like they rightly said, for the whole world is celebrating the youth day today. There's one thing I think they make a jest of this youth also. Like our government, they make a jest of the youth. Every year, now and then, they talk of youth are the leaders of tomorrow. Youth are the leaders of tomorrow. And when you are giving somebody a child such expectation, when tomorrow comes, you say tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, you say tomorrow. They become annoyed and something may happen. So when you are bringing up a child, bring him a right child, a right way that he can be better tomorrow for the whole world, not only the country or state. and the fathers first. Let them bring up their children because God will give them to train them in a good way that God will like. If you don't train them in a good way that God will like, God will not even be happy with them. That's why the Bible says that they have to bring them in the right way so that tomorrow they will not be offended. So I want the government of the day to help, not so that the youth cannot to go demonstrate, do this, do this. If you say someone is going to die today, that person won't mind killing other people. So if the youth are trained the way they like, I think nothing will happen to the society. So we want the government to help us.
Thank you very much, Hondachi Gabriel. Government's intervention to get the youth to become better leaders. We are going to be talking extensively about youth in leadership as we go along too. Thank you, Hondachi Gabriel. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you for calling in. Welcome to Perspectives.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. This is Agata Paul at back of Achusa High School, Akodi.
All right, good to have you join us, Agata also.
Thank you so much. I want to appreciate my brother Anyamke, who happens to be a colleague. Anyamke, you have spoken well.
Thank you, June 12.
Thank you. And the other guest, you guys are too. You are doing well in the studio. I want to point out that the youth has lost focus. I remember Lucky Dube say, without a parents, children suffering. Now, when Anyamke made mention of parental guidance, I remember vividly, and he talked about the school we went during that time. Sometimes you trek from here to Gado Villa or to Air Force Base just for you to go to your school and come back. And when you come back home, your parents will take time to check your books and all that. And again, now, most of the parents are not at home. They leave these children with nannies. And the nanny is not of age that sometimes the way they handle those nanny at home, the children watch. And if the nanny happen to tell them what you're doing is not wrong, what you're doing is wrong, those children knock back at the nannies because the way they handle them in house, they feel they're nobody to them. And from the small age, they start doing their mind without no father to guide, no parents to guide them. Then secondly, he made mention of handwork. They talk about a youth being jobless. In those days in school, they train all the students how to do handwork. And they tell you to go into the field you know you can do better. Some will go and cut the palm leaf and then create a broom out of it. Some will use the same palm stem and then mold a basket. And like that, some will draw and all this kind of handwork. This is not taught in the school. Thirdly, truly, that time, our parents in the business place, they train you how to do business and how to farm. Now that the government, the executive governor of Benue State is giving out fertilizer and seedling for our youth to go into farming. If you are being trained in the farm now, you find it easier to go into the farm and earn a living. Because that time our parents did not train us to look up to government, but to look for yourself what your hand can fish for yourself. So everybody now depends on government. And now the way parents are handling their children going to school, you see before you take your child to school, it's like a competition. Some parents will buy yogurt, buy meat pie, do Indomie fried egg and give their children to go to school. And some parents look at this, some of the other children that are not worthy, they look at those kids are living a very large life and then a worthy life, and then those ones, you feel as if your parents have nothing to give to you. And now you see the children lost focus. Even in the early stage going to school, you have this heap of food. You cannot concentrate. Your own is just to consume. And now those children grow up to live in that kind of life. Bring the children down to them depending on the government without them bringing something on the table for government to look and then help them out. I raise my case. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Agata Osupor, for your contribution and for resting your case. You have touched on so many things there. We'll engage with some more persons for come back. Good morning.
Good morning, presenter. Good.
Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, it's the voice of Mark. I'm calling you from Otupo, Rasmi.
All right, Mark Onwangbede. Good to have you join us.
Thank you so much. Based on the time, I think my colleague had given me a clue that we were discussing you day on radio.
Yes, today is International Youth Day. That's what we're discussing.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. This day has been a day that has been recognized as a youth day. I think youth need to be proactive to maintain their function. And I want to advise you that it is the way you package yourself and somebody can never take you cheap. Concerning now, as we are in a game of democratic ruling, I think our leaders used to use we the youth during their campaign periods, but at the end of the day, they abandoned us. Concerning the level of insecurity we are having now, youth are contributing just because sometimes they work for our political leaders, and at the end of the day, they drop them halfway. So at the end of the day, they have nothing at hand doing. So they went into the antisocial behavior. I think I'm rather advising with the youth to package ourselves, and I'm calling on the federal government that if it is true that we used to say youth are leaders of tomorrow, I think it is the way they recognize the youth, and tomorrow they will become the leaders of tomorrow. Because if we take a look at it, what is happening, youth are not recognized automatically.
Okay.
They are not. Hello?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. We should conclude now.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much for calling in. Please, if you call, would like to appeal once again, keep your discussion, your contribution very, very brief because we have others also waiting to be part of this engagement. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for joining us on Perspectives.
Okay, I'm Mekaoji calling from Welfare Portal.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, and the guests in the house.
Emeka Oji, could you speak up more audible so that we hear you?
Okay, are you hearing me now?
Very well.
Okay, so I've been listening for a while to the panelists in the house, especially the female director. He said something that impressed me. That sometimes he rejects jobs because he knows that certainly such content are produced, it's going to cost more. We were told that music was designed to give a message. I hope I'm getting it right. But we see what is happening now is that most of the time they don't know the kind of people who are this music. They don't have good intention. They are just there to promote lifestyles that will certainly lead to the situation we have all over the world. Movies are an integral part of the youth in the positive or negative direction. So, if actually he's doing as he says, I need to congratulate him for that. Therefore, we the parents, we need to get back trained in the fear of Yahweh. If you go to places like Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1 to 4, Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4 to 6. The parents are given the authority to teach the children, because when we are brought up in the fear of Yahweh, we have that very acute sense of what is wrong and what is bad. This excuse that somebody is into crime because of joblessness is neither here nor there. Yeah, we cannot make alibi, you cannot make excuses for bad behavior. All of us should be responsible. But the fact that I'm jobless doesn't mean that I have the leeway to go and steal or do what some of our young people are doing. I've seen taxi drivers return dollars, thousands of dollars forgotten in their business. Why didn't they take it? So it's just our character. So the parents should help the children to develop good character.
All right.
The people in the media should also help to produce content that will inspire.
Okay.
Something that will inspire you to do good. Like you watch a movie, sometimes I watch some movie, I cry. Somebody coming from a very lowly background, struggle against all odds to become something.
All right.
It's not somebody that will come, shoot up people, carry women, expose their body. These are the kind of movies we have, and it's not working well for the society.
Thank you.
There should be a change.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your contribution. All right. The line is still open, 0814-335-9292. let's take some more calls before we come back. Morning.
Thank you, please. I just want to complete what I was saying at first.
Eh,
Pertaining engineering training, okay? We
Emeka,
have the best
oh,
training facilities in the world. The only problem we are having is management. Apart from management, we don't have any issues. This engineer Augustine Eke. Thank
all
you
right.
very much.
Thank you, Engineer Augustine. But that is not our subject, like I mentioned to you. I'm so sorry you didn't tie it to our focus of discussion. So we appreciate you all the same. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling in. Welcome to Perspectives.
Yes, my name is Professor Musa Baji.
All right, good to have you join us, Professor
Thank
Obaji.
you very much. I thank one of the speakers for acknowledging the acknowledged supply, the abundant supply of farm inputs and fertilizers by His Excellency the Executive Governor of Benue State, Reverend Father Dr. Hassan Yomemalia. They are still much available in the ministry, used to come and access.
Okay.
Okay, I want to congratulate the youths
So,
on their day.
okay, Professor Ogbaji, I've just had an agreement with my discussants that after the program, all of us are youth, so we'll come and get the fertilizers.
Yes, our subsidized rate now come for no, the one we're having now, we have exhausted the one that are free. We are now about to commence the one that are subsidized.
It's okay, sir. Speak to us on the International Youth Day.
So now I want to congratulate the youth on their day, and I sincerely want to make this passionate appeal. I have been a friend of the youth from the university for 38 years, so I know their story, what they want to achieve. They should also subject themselves to mentorship. Very important. All of us that are up to this standard will have mentors in the future that will follow faithfully, follow their footsteps. Youth of these days are not ready to be mentored, starting from even supervision of students and even from driver to messenger. They don't. Tomorrow they want to drive your car that they are driving. They're in a hurry. They should calm down. If you are a good footballer, one popular language that we use on the field is calm down, calm down, calm it down. It's a language we use in football. Those of you who know how to play football, I know Nas does not know. Finally, sir, the only way we test the quality of products in the university of students and products is to go for competition. Are you with me?
Very well, sir.
We go showcase what we are doing with other universities in Nigeria. And I want to report to you, sir, happily that Joseph Sawan Taka University, formerly Federal University of Agriculture, Makurdi, the faculty of Inyani there has been taken first when there's a go for any exhibition in Nigeria. Especially their planters, yam harvesters, led by our category Professor Twangi, Professor Itodo, who is the Vice Chancellor now. We have always won prizes, all the prizes.
Okay, Professor.
So
Ogbaje,
to say that a student of a university cannot do a plug,
thank you, sir.
I think it's regrettable. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We appreciate you. But one thing we should make clear here is that when the discussant mentioned that, it was just a hypothetical example. She wasn't particular about any particular university, so it's not a platform for us to say the university so and so is not doing well in a certain area. That is not really the intention of the program. And our discussion is purely given a hypothetical issue. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome to Perspectives.
Thank you very much, sir. This is Omzena Shima Nathaniel.
Okay, Nashima, good to have you join us, Nathaniel. Where are you reaching us from?
Currently, I am in Akwanga in Nasarawa State.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning to you and to everybody in the studio, especially the discussants.
Good morning, sir.
I'm happy to be a youth. And today is a day for a youth of my type to express himself with any given opportunity he has. And that is the reason why I tried my best to call so that I can reach the studio and also hear my views on today's celebration. I wish to narrow down what I have to say to Okun youth. I'm defining my audience in this way because with the current carnage that is going on there, and with the things that are going on, I think they represent a true reflection of my broad audience. So if I narrow what I will have to say to them, it will reach out to my broad audience better than me speaking on a broader perspective.
Yes, yes. Please go to the message
So
straight. Yes.
I like to say that the society is concentric. It has so many circles in it, and the youth are the center of all the different circles in it. I'm saying this because everything in the society starts and ends with the youth. It was the youth that fought the Biafran War. It was the youth that joined Askari during the time the German was in charge of what we have now as Tanzania. Everything in this world starts and ends with the youth. In the last 10-day protest, hunger protest that ended, it was the youth that protested. So I am calling negative things and positive things to magnify the fact that whatever the youths want to do, they will do it because they have the power as far as the society is concerned. So whenever I say this, I try to encourage the youth to always look at their strength as a tool for them to follow the right path. So that at the end of the day, the society will be a peaceful place for all of us. Now, another thing I will say before I will stop, because I know this is a timed program, so I don't have to be saying a lot of things to be consuming time. The last thing I will say is that if you're a youth, anywhere you find yourself, your goal should be to do something that will make the part of your society you find yourself a better place. Like the carnage that is happening in Ukuni, the only people that have the power to stop it are the youth from that place. But if they continue to be deaf, even when the gun sound is so loud, the carnage will continue until they stop and have a rethink. So I am encouraging youth in every corner of the world that the society is under their feet and they should hold it very well, try to sue for peace, and when the peace comes, they should try to maintain it. Because peace without maintenance takes us to no actual peace. So for now, this is the only thing I will have to contribute concerning this program, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nathaniel.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, that's Nathaniel Omuze from Akwanga. We appreciate your submission. He narrowed his audience, and we hope the audience will receive that positively too. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Welcome.
Yeah, this is Vincent Ake from International Market.
Good to have you join us, Vincent.
Yes, sir. So, pertaining the Youth Day, as I want to speak, I'm referring this to my elders, my parents, every guardian in the world. Please, consider every youth as your child. Look at the youth as they are your tomorrow. They are the flag bearer of your tomorrow nation. Why am I saying this? Back in the days when I was growing up in the barracks, if you go out and make everybody, any elder can beat you, and you get back, I will beat you too. But today is different. Please, people should like their children. We all like our children, but youth, in particular, I'm talking to them now. Us, we should know that we have the world tomorrow. Learn the right thing. We all know the right thing. We should only pretend we don't know. Learn the right thing so that tomorrow's future is in our hands, and we'll make sure we live it. No matter what the elders do, tomorrow you have the future. So let's brighten our future for tomorrow. Learn the good things. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vincent. Thank you very much. All right, every youth should learn the right thing, and every parent should be a guidance to another youth, even if it's not your direct child. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to Perspectives.
Yes, my name is Sebastian from United.
The name is who?
Sebastian from United.
May we know your full name, Sebastian?
Sebastian, I look up United.
Okay. Speak to us, Sebastian. The network at Uniagri is poor this morning, I suppose. But if you can change
First
position.
of all, I want to appreciate the guest in the house, especially me, my student. I'm proud of the guest. He is standing star among those guests. What I want to you said something there that every leaders should take. Look at what you say about students when you talk about students in university. You are studying engineering and you don't know how to even loose a tire or fix a socket. Is it not embarrassing? And you say you are teaching these students to be something tomorrow. What are you teaching them? The university should take charge of all this. This thing is not fair. Me, like some of us, we are inside university. You
Yes, hello,
yes.
Sebastian. May you change your position a bit so that we'll hear you better? The network seems to be breaking and we can barely get you clear.
Hello. Are you hearing me now?
Speak on.
Are you hearing me now?
Speak on, please.
Yes. What I was trying to say is, so when you are studying a course, like you are studying engineering, as you say, and you don't know how to fix a socket.
That you said already.
You don't have idea.
Yes.
That you don't have idea of this thing. So even the institution needs to help the youth so that what they are spending their time in learning, tomorrow they will make use of it. Thank you. I just want to contribute a little.
Thank you. I appreciate you for your contribution. Okay. Back to you discussants.
Okay.
Let's start with the issue of specific roles youths can play in nation building, because for sustainable development to take shape or to take place, peace is a second none.
Okay. I don't want to sound religious, but I think you said specific roles, right?
Yes.
I'll look at love as a factor. You see, we are divided in different fronts. We are divided on religious grounds, political differences, tribal sentiments, and all. So, if there is love, I think we won't look at the differences we have, and as such, peace will be fostered. Peace is a very essential, factor, to bring about nation building. If there is no peace, they can't exist development. So, for you to even achieve peace, first of all, you have to accept others the way they are. And by accepting others the way they are, that means because you are in this party and I'm this party does not mean we cannot relate. Because I am in this religion and you are in that religion, it means we cannot relate. Or because I am Idoma, you are T, we can. No. By the time you accept the other person as he or she is, and you begin to, try to understand why or his reasons for, following a particular philosophy or following a particular way of life, we can actually learn from each other. And then it will not amount to disagreements that will lead into chaos. So acceptance, one, can bring about peace. Accepting the other person's religion, accepting the other person's political philosophy, accepting the other person's tribe, acceptance generally, there is no then civility, the way of the way in which we talk to one another can also, we talk about manner of approach. There are civil ways of disagreeing with somebody and not making the person feel like you are fighting the person. I can have a different view totally about what you think about a particular thing, and the way I am going to approach you is going to make you feel, okay, fine, maybe this guy doesn't toe my line, but he also has a point, so we can agree. Recently I made a friend because of a heated argument we had, and for more than 3 hours we were on this argument and we didn't raise our voices, and I was trying to make, at the end of the day, say, bros, let me have your number, I would love us to meet, I will call you. And funny enough, a week later he called. That's how we have made friends. Even on social media, that's we're talking about, you know, youthful digital pathways, right, for sustainable development. Most of the times we wake up on social media. Now, why do we fight? That's a big question. Why must we aggravate issues? You see something and then you read a negative meaning in it, and then you are imposing that meaning which you have read on what somebody has written, and then you are trying to fuel the minds of others to believe that what you are projecting is the thing that that person meant, thereby creating enmity and then creating chaos on social media. And then there are a lot of sides. This one takes this side, this one takes this side, and then you find out that there is somehow a cyber war.
All right. So away from that cyber war in our immediate communities, okay, earlier on you made mention of the community of Sankara, the Sankara axis, where
Yeah.
there seemed to be some level of turbulence there over the years.
Yes.
And like one of our callers also had a direct message for people in that area, particularly the youth.
Yeah.
In what roles can peace mediation be done in some of these communities to directly have the stake of the youth?
No, you see, dialogue is very important. Now, but for dialogue to actually thrive, there must be a will to listen. If you don't want to listen, like I've seen where somebody has said, "I don't know, I don't want to hear anything, I don't want to hear," and it becomes very difficult to talk. But if you really want to pin down a problem, both parties that are involved in that problem must be ready to, lay down their weapons and then sit down and talk. The aggrieved, the offender, the whoever that is involved needs to sit down to a dialogue. And I think dialogue has been the best way of handling crisis in the world over. We can't quench fire with fire, and that is what is happening in Sankara at the moment. The aggrieved have stood up to also create more problems for themselves, and that community is not just theirs, because by extension it is going to affect and trickle down to other neighboring communities, down to the entire Tiv nation, and then by extension Benue at large. So a cry for one, a call for one is a call for all. Now dialogue needs to start internally there, and then there are external external organizations or external parties, like let's say government representative. I recently made a post on Facebook saying that the legislative arm of government needs not to leave the problem of Sankara to the members of that constituency alone. Sankara should now be made a constituency of every Benue House of Assembly member. And it should become a collective problem that we can sit down and talk. We have youth parliaments that are working elsewhere very well. I have never really heard, I don't know whether it's ongoing. I don't know. I have not heard, comrade, that's part of your question. I've never really heard anything coming up from the youth parliament, saying something in regard of what is happening in that axis. But I feel the youth have a strong voice. And now, when they talk about protest, recently when they said protest, people have this notion that protest needs to be violent. Protest needs to be, there has to be agitation, there has to be, some kind of violence. No. You can sit down and make your point, very civilly, and people will hear you and see reason with you why this should not continue or this should continue. So in that axis, the people of Sankara, one, needs to embrace themselves and first of all seek peace, want peace. Because if they don't want help, you can't help somebody who doesn't need help. They need to first of all need help themselves, and then once they act like people who actually want help, then external help could come. The government and neighboring clans, every other person, we are rooting out for them. We are really rooting out for them. We really want peace in that area, and that is just all I can say for now.
Okay, we'll engage with some few persons and then we'll come back and try to draw our concluding thoughts. Hello, good morning. Okay, Miss Comrade Gundu, let me come to you now.
Okay.
Before
Good morning, sir.
you are on, speak to us. Good morning.
All right. My name is Oradwan Amos. I'm calling from Command Secondary School, Naka Road, here in Makodi.
Okay.
Yes, International Youth Day. Very, very important in the life of every youth, a right-thinking youth in Nigeria. Well, the guests in the studio have said a lot, but what I want to be ready to do that which he wants to do. It's very, very important. So as youth, people are saying learning craft and all of that. Yes, it is still existing in our schools and even tertiary institutions. If you go to the university, you have EPS, entrepreneurship studies, whereby you learn a lot of trade in the school. But the reality of the whole thing is that which you want to learn, the mindset to do that is one thing that is very, very pivotal among youth. Nowadays, they concentrate on their phones more than learning a particular trade that will help their life tomorrow, thinking that the shortcut to make ends meet is the right thing to do. But I want to encourage every youth. I actually left the university last year. I am not doing anything at the moment, but I know that with time, when I think rightly and do the right thing at the right time, have a useful trade or go more, study more to do the right thing at the right time, definitely I'll be something good tomorrow. So every right thinking youth should think positive and act upon it, not just thinking about it, but act upon that which you have think is very, very important. So I am calling on every youth, please, those people that are leaders today, they were once youth before they are elders today, and everything rests in the youth. So the youth should take up things positively so that they will be good leaders of tomorrow. That's my take on the program.
Thank you, Amos. Thank you for your take. Okay, Comrade Gundu.
Right, sir.
We'll move away from other issues now and focus on leadership recruitment, particularly for the youth. Are the youth prepared for leadership?
Yes. Thank you so much. I think in my earlier statement, I said if there is no youth, there is no tomorrow. Bread. But at the same time, because if the youth are being carried along, I think in this current government, the youth, there is high participation,
Inclusivity, yeah?
yes, of the youth in. So I think if the youth are part of decision making, when you want to train a child on a particular thing, and then you bring the child close, you know the capacity of that child, if the child can carry it or not. And that is why, of course, they give tests to before exams, or they give exams in school despite teaching you that. So I think as a youth, if you have the little experience in leadership and then you go there, you will do well. And I think the youth, yes, of course, the youth are prepared in some certain way, but then they still need to work on themselves. We still need mentorship. We still need to learn from these people. By the time you do your self-development and research, I think of course, we can still make something very good out of the youth. The youth are prepared.
All right, the youth are prepared. Let me take one more call. I will come back shortly. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to Perspectives.
I'm Sunday Omirin, calling from Benue State University.
Okay.
I want to thank you for the programs. I want to congratulate the youth on their Youth Day. Hello?
Yes.
Are you with me?
We're with you, Sunday. Speak to us.
Oh, okay. Okay. I want to emphasize the youth development and training. Just like we're talking about, are they focusing or are they mentor for leadership tomorrow? I was very surprised there if many of the youth are being mentored for the leaders of tomorrow. The reason is this, that in our training today, that many are times that right from the time that the public schools have been bastardized, have been chartered and left to the hands of the private, right from the one. That is why women now are agitating that they should go for 6 months maternity leave. After the 3-month maternity leave, the child is no longer in the hands of the parents. Who is the person that will mentor them, will train them? The child, somebody is training your child for you. and you expect that person to train that your child to make him a leader tomorrow for you, right from 3 months, because of the white collar job, the parents have no time for them. Because of the economic hardship, the parents went out to look for the income for the fact in the hand of another person to train your child for you. I'm very surprised if this.
Okay, Sunday, thank you. Could that be
Hello?
all from you? Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. That's the last call we will take because our time is fast ticking away. A few messages and then we'll come back, try to conclude. This one says, good day, the presenter and guest in the studio. First, I want to congratulate the youth of this country for their patience, actions, and inactions. Second, I want to advise our stakeholders in education to reinstate the agricultural and commercial policies which were practiced earlier in our schools, starting from primary to higher institutions. Third, our leaders should rethink how they enjoyed the fruits of this country before and put heads together and provide basic and better solutions for the youth of this country. Nyajo Godwin from Bajimba in Guma local government. Thank you, Nyajo. Another one here says, youths are the seed corn if only government can help to curtail unemployment for them. Good morning, comrades. Not all of us are comrades. We have only one comrade. Thank you, Isaac Utsua Niye. Isaac, thank you very much for your message. And another one here says, I would have said a little to Ukum youth where the land bleeds and guns sing, leaving behind an ugly strangle of youth and old corpses. The indigenous carnage is a harsh reminder of the burdens we bear as the youth of this country, yet it is also a call to rise above the ashes, to be the generation that refuses to be broken by the weight of history and circumstances. We are the pulse of this nation, the heartbeats that cannot afford to falter. Our strength lies not just in our numbers, but in our resilience, in our ability to see where others see despair, see hope where others despair. We are the youth, and we are the future. Let us not be defined by the darkness around us, but by the light we choose to carry forward. Happy International Youth Day. Those are the few we'll be able to take. We'll gradually draw our concluding thoughts. And Conan, I'd like to begin with you now in terms of youth inclusion and their participation in leadership. Are you satisfied with the roles they are playing, and what more can be done to strengthen their participation if you're not satisfied?
First of all, I'd like to appreciate the government for a fair representation of the youth in today's government, especially here in the state. Um, in a matter of whether I am satisfied or not, what I would say is I think they have a lot to learn because it's been they have been sparingly been involved in the government of the past. So coming on board, at this moment, I think they still have the ropes to learn because some of them, I want to be very clear that their starting is not impressive. Now, the leadership is there for the led. I keep saying this. Leaders do better when they listen to their subjects, the people they are leading, because you are leading people with problems and they have problems, and then you must listen to them. So I see some of the leaders today, especially those within the youth cadre, once they are in office, they even hardly pick calls. They are inaccessible. You come to their offices and then it's very difficult. You can't see them. They don't reply text messages. I mean, they have just arrived and that is it. So you see, it's very difficult. And now, when you look at that kind of trend, even from our own ranks, we begin to think that did we even do a mistake, you know, trying to put these people there or trying to vouch for them to be there. So these are the questions. I think as people who have been clamoring to become leaders of tomorrow that we have been deprived of, once we get a grasp of those positions, we should do things that will rather endear other people to us and make people begin to wonder that, oh, how come we had such people and we never used them? Now is the time. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just trying to give them how do I put it? I'm just trying to encourage them that now that they have the time, they should make the best of it. They should not make people say, "Oh, you see, this is why you guys have never been given an opportunity to lead, because we know that if you take these positions, you will actually fall down with it." We should actually make people understand that they have been missing to have youth involved in governance. So I want to encourage the youth, and I want to say, um, thank you to Agate Radio for considering some of us worthy to come talk on the International Youth Day on radio for other youths to also hear from us. I want to say it's an opportunity to make them understand that, you know, youths are valued. They are, they are, they are considered. So we shouldn't look at it as if, we don't have opportunities. These are opportunities. For me to be on air, I think it's an opportunity given to a youth. So I am here talking on behalf of the youth. So thank you very much.
All right. That is what we do at Target Radio. We are about the people, and everything that concerns the people is our immediate concern. Comrade Gundu, our
Yes.
time is no longer there. I will allow you just 30 seconds to give your concluding thoughts.
All right, thank you so much. Permit me to you out of these 30 seconds to appreciate Agate Radio for finding me worthy to share my thoughts with the youth. We really appreciate, and then to also use this opportunity and wish all the youth out there, including myself, a happy Youth Day, and then to tell them and also to encourage them to understand that the economy and the country is hard, but I think we need to strive more harder to make a better living. And then in a little way we can. We must not really wait for us to be in a position before we contribute to the nation building. No matter where you are, no matter what you do, you can also contribute your quota to the nation building. Thank you very much out there. We love you all. Thank you so much.
Okay, and this is where we draw curtains on this edition of Perspectives. Conan Anyanke is a movie writer. He's a writer, a filmmaker, and a commentator on youth issues. He joined us here on Perspectives as one of our panelists. Thank you very much indeed, Ms. Anyanke, for coming.
Thank you very
The
much.
National Public Relations Officer of the National Association of Nigerian Students, Comrade Mimido Gundu. We appreciate your valuable insights.
Thank you so much.
Dear listener, that's our program for today, International Youth Day. We wish every youth out there a happy International Youth Day celebration. And even if you are not a youth, you were once a youth. So you have a place to mentor young people, groom them, give them opportunities in leadership and in every sphere of life to contribute positively to nation building. I am Nathaniel Nango. I'll be here on Wednesday again for another edition of Perspectives. Have yourself a great week ahead.